My name is Jeff Morgan. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm going to be doing something today that I have never done before, and it's probably very rarely done. I'm going to be endorsing two different individuals for the 301st District Court Family Court Judge. If you are Republican, I'm endorsing Earl Jackson. Earl Jackson is an outstanding person. And if you are a Democrat, I'm endorsing Michelle McKinney. Michelle McKinney I've spoke with on numerous occasions. Another social warrior person, a person who wants to see justice done in our courts. So I'm endorsing both of them. And you're saying, well, but how can you endorse both of them when they're running against each other? It's very simple, really. The current judge of the 301st District Court is Mary Brown. Now, Mary Brown should have been the only person running on the ballot, except Mary Brown did something that only Mary Brown could do. She didn't get her name on the ballot. She was so incompetent that when it came down time, had she just put her name on the ballot, she would have been the Democratic incumbent running for the position, and there would have been no challengers. There would have been no Democratic challengers. There would have been no Republican challenger. Mary Brown blew it. Mary Brown did a number of things, and it just illustrates how bad she is as a judge, as an individual, how incompetent she is. So to go look a little bit further into Mary Brown, I've been thinking about this. Why not Mary Brown? And I'm going to give you the reasons why I'm endorsing both Earl Jackson and Michelle McKinney. And I'm also going to say do not vote for Mary Brown. Even though Mary Brown is the current family court judge, she is a horrible judge. She is tyrannical and other things. And I'm going to give you 7 reasons why you should not vote for Mary Brown for the district court judge, the family district court judge in Dallas, Texas. And once again, if you're a Republican, vote for Earl Jackson. You have to write in their names. This is the write-in candidacy. Nobody's on the ballot because Mary Brown screwed up. Mary Brown could not get her name on the ballot. All she had to do was get her name on the ballot, and she would have been the judge once again. But because she did not do that, she now has 2 challengers, Earl Jackson, who is the Republican challenger, and also Michelle McKinney, who is a Democratic challenger. And I've spoken with both Earl and I've spoken with Michelle. They're both great people. So I said, you know, what am I going to do here? I'm going to endorse them both. The only thing I'm going to say is do not vote for Mary Brown. And when I talk about Mary Brown, the first thing I want to do is say the first reason you should not vote for her is because she is incompetent. And her incompetence has been illustrated by the fact that this was her position. All she had to do was file the right paperwork with the right number of people. If she would have gotten her name on the primary ballot, she would have been judge again. Nobody would have run against her. That is the reality. Mary Brown is so incompetent, and her campaign is so incompetent that she could not even get her name on the ballot. And there's a reason why she could not get her name on the ballot, and I'm going to go into that right now too, because Mary Brown is corrupt. So the reason Mary Brown did not get her name on the ballot is because either she had to pay some money or she had to submit signatures. She submitted fraudulent signatures. And again, she's got what, 1.5 million people and a million people or so in the city of Dallas, and all she had to do was to go around and get some names on a piece of paper. It wasn't a lot of names, but Mary Brown's been there. It's been her position for about 8 years right now, I believe, maybe a little bit longer than that. So she could have gone to anybody. She could have gone to the law firm. She could have taken it to a law firm and said, would everybody in the law firm sign this petition and say that you support me for a judge? Because she has been collecting money from them, so of course they're going to support her, right? But Mary Brown submitted fraudulent signatures, and what happens is when you submit your not a ballot, but when you submit your signatures, both parties get to look at them to check to see are the signatures actually real signatures or are they fraudulent signatures. And it was determined that Mary Brown submitted fraudulent signatures. Fraudulent signatures. She could not get enough people to write her down, so she had to submit fraudulent signatures. And I'm not sure who was in charge of this, but that was a real stupid move. It just shows her incompetence. It shows her corruptness at the same time, that she's willing to lie about signatures just to get her name on the ballot once again. But this comes down to the third point, is that Mary Brown does lie. And it's not just by submitting the fraudulent signatures that she's lying, but she started going around telling people the reason I didn't get on the ballot is because I didn't have enough signatures. We didn't have enough people that signed. The real reason is that she submitted fraudulent signatures. At least that's my understanding. Fraudulent signatures. So yes, she did not have enough genuine signatures because she had fraudulent signatures that put her over supposedly the number of people that she needed. But Mary Brown is out there. She's not going to tell people, hey, you know what, I'm corrupt, I'm fraudulent, I tried to cheat the system, whatever. She's not going to lie, well, we miscounted. I don't know, we just didn't have enough signatures to get my name on the ballot. So anyway, she, like I said, she's incompetent, she's corrupt, she lies, but then also she cheats. Because even though she's a Democrat, and if you look at the 301st District Court ballot right now, you'll see that there's no Democrat, no Republican on the ballot. You have to write them in. You either write in Earl Jackson, you write in Michelle McKinney, or you write in the incompetent, corrupt judge, Mary Brown, and you give her another term at the polls. But you do have to write them in. And when I say she cheats, what do I mean by this? Because if you are a write-in candidate, which Mary Brown is, all three of them are write-in candidates, but you cannot collect money for your write-in candidacy until you actually file your write-in candidacy, which would be July the 23rd. I believe that's when the window opens, and it goes until sometime in August. Well, corrupt judge, cheat judge Mary Brown, she wanted to get a cheating advantage against her opponents, and she decided that she was going to start fundraisers, or I guess maybe her campaign advisor, Jeff Dalton, decided this. I don't know. But by the end of June 30th, 2022, she had submitted that she had raised $32,000, primarily from law firms and attorneys. I think there was one child custody evaluator and one person who was going to be a judge. But the way that she raised this money violated the Texas Ethics Code. She was trying to cheat. She wanted an unfair advantage. Judge Mary Brown is a cheater, and she wanted to gain an unfair advantage against her opponent. She wanted to start off with cash in her campaign account, when the reality was she was not even allowed to raise any funds whatsoever. And by the time July 23rd came around, that was another few weeks after July the 30th, even more money came in. I filed a complaint with the Texas Ethics Committee. It's under investigation right now. I'm a little bit disappointed, quite honestly, with the Texas Ethics Commission, because to me, this should have been investigated promptly. The case that I gave to them was airtight. There was no reason why they should have denied it. Of course, Mary Brown should be given an opportunity to respond. That is what due process is all about, something that Mary Brown tends to deny in her courts. But, you know, she needs to get due process as a judge, as every person in the state of Texas, every person in court should get. But she has had plenty of time now. There should have been a decision upon this. And I've called up the Texas Ethics Commission, and I've said, what's going on with this case? And they kind of said, well, you know, if it happens, it happens, and we really can't comment about something that's in progress right now. It should have been easily settled at this point. The only thing they should be determining at this point is how much money they are going to fine her. And the fine could go in excess, I believe, of $100,000, just based on based on the June numbers. The fine could go up to $96,000. And yes, maybe the attorney firms, maybe the law firms, maybe all these people that support Mary Brown, maybe all of her platinum sponsors, maybe they'll kick in and help her cover the cost. But this is a fine that she should be paying. And again, I express my disappointment right now with the Texas Ethics Commission. I was very excited about how quickly they got on it, but I'm not so excited about how slow they appear to me to have been, and the fact that they have not publicized that she is going to be fined, that she did violate the statutes for write-in candidacy. So Mary Brown is incompetent, Mary Brown is corrupt, Mary Brown lies, she cheats, and she also retaliates. Point number 5, she retaliates. And one of the things, you know, had she gotten her name on the ballot, as she should have been able to do had she not been so incompetent and corrupt and tried to cheat the system and shortcut things, nobody would have run against her. Why is that? Because attorneys know that if you challenge a sitting judge and try to run for her position, that judge can retaliate against you. And that is not in the best interest of their clients, either their current clients or their future clients. Because if you have a judge that's going to retaliate against you, your client will lose. And you will end up losing business. And to be honest with you, I don't care if the whole family law industry shrivels up and dies. I think that that's how corrupt the entire system is. But when it comes right down to it, if you're a family law attorney and you're saying, yeah, you know what, I could do this, I could go against her, I could run against her, but if I don't win, and the odds are stacked in her favor, that she's going to win, she's going to retaliate against me, and she's going to retaliate against my clients. And that's why when you have both Michelle McKinney and Earl Jackson, I've listened to Earl Jackson say, hey, I'm an independent right now. I have my own firm. I've got my everything going on myself. What are they going to do to me? How are they going to retaliate against me? And it's not just Mary Brown that will retaliate. Law firms will retaliate because law firms are invested in these judges. As I mentioned on one of the previous videos, some of these law firms have platinum sponsorships. And if you are an attorney that's going to run against a judge that they are platinum sponsors for, that law firm will retaliate against you. As an attorney, you may be out of a job. So not only does Mary Brown retaliate, but the law firms retaliate. And the sixth reason that I'm saying not to vote for Mary Brown is that the reality is she's not liked. Even the Democrats, there's a number of Democrats that don't like her, and she is a Democrat. She's a hardcore liberal progressive Democrat. She is a socialist Democrat, a cultural communist of sorts in a way, and she's not even liked by the Democratic attorneys and by the Democratic judges. Now, it's interesting to hear that because once again, you would think that, oh, you're a judge, everybody likes you. You hear Mary Brown, I've got all of this experience. There are Democratic judges who are supporting the write-in candidacy and encouraging the write-in candidacy of Earl Jackson. And there are Democratic judges that are supporting and encouraging the write-in candidacy of Michelle McKinney because they know that Judge Mary Brown is a bad judge, corrupt, incompetent. She lies, she's unfair, she cheats, she does not always apply the rules that she should within her courts. And another reason that Mary Brown should not be voted in is because she is unqualified. And when I say this, both Earl Jackson, the Republican who is running for the 301st Family District Court Judge, and Michelle McKinney, the 301st District Court Judge on behalf of the Democrats. And again, they're both running independent, but they are both family law certified. Judge Mary Brown, corrupt judge, cheat judge, the lying judge, the judge who is abusive to people in her courtroom, the judge who violates the Constitution, which I'll get to in just a moment. She is not family law certified. She has no idea what she's doing at times. And if you've watched her, and I've watched her for well over a year and a half, not all the time, but I've watched a number of her cases, and I've seen her. She's acting in a tyrannical manner. She's acting in a vengeful manner. She acts in a ditzy manner. And I mean, so much so that in my mind, I've nicknamed her either Ditzy Mary or Airhead Mary. I mean, that's how bad she is. She's just not qualified to be a judge. And yet, because she's a Democrat and because she's the incumbent, she kind of feels like the judgeship is hers. She deserves it. Even though she lies, even though she cheats, even though she's committed fraud, even though she retaliates and she's got people that will retaliate on her behalf, she deserves to be judge. She wants to be your judge. I've been contacted by a number of people about Mary Brown. When I started to do this thing about Mary Brown, I've had people say, she's done this to me. What can we do to help? There are people that do not want to see Mary Brown reelected. And not just the people that have been in her court, but once again, attorneys and judges. Now, some of these people have to be very, very quiet because maybe the retaliation will come against them, but that is the reality. And I'm going to say that there's an eighth reason too. And this I did not even have in my list of reasons against her, but it popped into my mind as I'm talking about this. Mary Brown unconstitutionally closed her courtroom. We have the open courts doctrine in the state of Texas. Our Texas Constitution guarantees that the courts shall remain open. And the public is allowed to go into the courts to monitor their courts. Now, I know in particular in the Jeff Younger situation, there were a number of us that wanted to monitor that situation. And she closed the courts intentionally, willfully. It was a predetermined thing that she did, and she had people in her court lie about it. We have had three different conflicting messages about what really happened. Oh, the court was in person, it was not in person. Oh, it was this, it was that. She lied. She had her court personnel lie for her. She was violating the Constitution, and she wanted to have people lie for her to cover her up. So once again, I'm going to say if you're a Republican, write in Earl Jackson. If you are a Democrat, write in Michelle McKinney. And I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, do not write down Mary Brown. Mary Brown is a failure as a judge. Incompetent, she's unqualified, she's corrupt, she lies, she cheats, she retaliates, she violates the Constitution, she's not qualified, and she's not even liked by judges and by attorneys. Now, when I've talked with both Earl Jackson and Michelle McKinney, again, I'm endorsing both of them. If you're, I've got both sides right here. Both sides are in my front yard. I have them both there. So it's something that you'll know that if you go by my house, I have all the Republicans usually, and I have both Michelle McKinney and Earl Jackson. I'm endorsing them both. But I've also told both of them, I may be endorsing you, but if you screw up, if you start depriving people of due process and of their rights as parents in your court, if you start closing the courts, if you treat them with abusiveness, if you act in a tyrannical and unjust manner, I will come after you just as I've come after Mary Brown. And they both agreed that that is fair. That is fair. So we've got two outstanding individuals, Earl Jackson, the Republican, Michelle McKinney, the Democrat. Write down Earl, write down Michelle, but do not write down Mary Brown. The corrupt, lying, cheating, unqualified, retaliating judge. Do not write down Mary Brown. Write down Earl or Michelle, but not Mary Brown. And by the way, I'm going to go up to try to see if I can talk with Mary Brown right now, because I have talked with both Earl and Michelle. I've talked with them on the phone. I've never met either one of them in person, but I've talked with them on the phone, and I've watched some of the stuff that they've done. But I am going to go up to where Mary Brown is campaigning right now and see if I can get Mary Brown on camera. Because Mary Brown, once again, had to respond to the ethics complaints that were filed against her. And I'd like to get her from her perspective, because I want to give her due process. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I want her to be able to answer and tell what exactly happened with the fraudulent votes that she submitted and the complaints that have been filed against her. How did she respond? Did she lie again, or did she fess up? So we'll find out here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see her or not, but that's my intent, is to try to go see her at this point right now. So I will talk with you later. Thank you.